planning it out. That's what we did last video. So now this is actually part of the ship you wanted to make, correct?
Yeah, so this is a piece of the ship that's in our game that.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of no ages, I am Title Pending, and once again, I am joined with
Indy.
and we're going to be talking about Kit Bash, how to use it for your games, what is it, so forth and so on. The first 3 minutes, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Kit Bash, and then after that, Indy and I will talk about how we're using Kit Bash and using it for one of the games that we're working on. Now, the first thing you want to note is I'm not paid by any of these sites or services. I'm just talking about what's out there and what's offered, okay? Kit Bash 3D is a great place to start because they advertise heavily on the internet, like on Facebook or on Google, and I'd like to talk about what exactly it is if you haven't checked out their website. Simply put, Kit Bash just means it is a place where you can actually have all sorts of pieces, and those pieces you can put together to make about like anything. So I'm going to click on the spaceship thing really quick, and as you can see here in this kit, at the very bottom, you have all these pieces to make wonderful spaceships. That's the idea. You can make spaceships, you can make cities. That's what Kit Bash is for, and it saves a lot of time, and it's great for game development. Now, a couple things you need to note, though. The first concern is you always have to check your license. Even though you're using Kit Bash, that may mean that you can't share your files with a team unless they have their own license, or you have to buy a more expensive license. And licensing is very important if you want to keep a good relationship with the people that you're acquiring Kit Bash from. The other thing you want to note about Kit Bash, this is another great site, CD Trader, aside from license, is you actually want to see if it is low poly. If you have like a lot of great kit for a Kit Bash, but the poly is too high, you're going to run into performance issues with your game. So note, if you're making especially a VR or AR, you're going to need low poly. In fact, low poly is usually good just for performance in any type of game, and that's usually our strong bias is to make sure something is low poly. Finally, just an off-sided note, you can also go to Blender Market itself. You can check out different types of royalty-free kits. But again, you have to be aware of what does that license mean? Am I working with a team? So forth and so on. Kit Ops Pro is one of the things that I've gotten, but I have some questions about the new license. And the reason why I like Kit Ops Pro is that it helps you use inserts to create your own three-dimensional creation, so forth and so on. But please check in with the licenses. I'm doing so right now. We're under 3 minutes. Fantastic. Okay. Without further ado, we are now going to start talking about how we use Kit Bash in the project, one of the game projects we're working on. Okay. Indy, take it away. We're going here. Going to Zoom.
Okay.
Full screen here. I thought it was full screen here. All right. Okay. What are you showing us?
All right. So let me get out of this. I think we showed this off last time. Did we not?
No, we didn't. We talked about it. Hold on a sec. Let me grab the notes really quick. We talked about this last time, related to planning it out. That's what we did last video. So now this is actually part of the ship you wanted to make, correct?
Yeah. So this is a piece of the ship that's in our game that's fallen to our planet that people are going to be on. And so I decided to, make it as damaged as possible.
Indy, you had a question for me related to Kit Bash. What was that question again?
Question was, I built this solid, so how would I make this a Kit Bash?
Right. Okay, see if I can write. So the first thing is that, I wanted to say is that you just have to first look for the patterns. So we have this lovely pattern right here, and we've got 3 of these, so we can base that already to think about how can we actually make this into some type of Kit Bash. We're going to erase all this. Now, so the first thing you want to kind of keep in mind is that you kind of could start from solid objects, and it would take some editing, but you can actually make slices along here, and adjust, right? Again, I'm trying to get in that corridor. And then what this means is that Now, unlike, say, a regular kit bash, I may not be able to make a continuous hallway. Well, actually, maybe I could with this. But I can actually at least make the debris and pieces we need for the ground of this fallen ship, okay? Other things I had mentioned before is that you've got this part right here and this part right here. And we can actually, even like this right here, maybe not so much this, but ideally with this part right here, we could actually make a continuation of this shape. We could actually build another part of this. And if we have that other part, we could have like 2 parts instead to actually start making the kit bash. Now, the other thing too to note as I clear this is that we don't have just like one wall. Ba-da-ba. Really, erase doesn't do it. Erase does not do it. Okay. We don't just have like 2 things here. Like we have a great thing for a ship, but what we could do is that we have actually 2 pieces here. So we could actually take this bottom part right over here. Oh, not erase. We could take this bottom part right. Why is it still erase? Okay, there we go. It's still saying erase. All right, draw. Okay, come on, draw. Draw. Arr, draw. Okay, all right. We can take this bottom part right here, and we can also convert this potentially into a wall, right? And the same thing as we line this up, we can have another cut right here. That would be a nice square cut. So we could maybe have some, if we wanted to, we could have certain repeating shapes. The only problem with this is, you know, we have some very unique geometry right here. We may not want to repeat that so much in level, or it'll start looking like the same thing to the player over and over again. All right, Indy, you had another question related to what happens if you don't have, what type of other shape? You had a question about some other type of shape. What was that again?
Is it the square you're talking about?
No, I think it was it the cylinder?
Oh, yeah. So let me bring that up. Okay. So how would this be kit bashed? How would I take?
So ideally, what my suggestion was is there's going to be a thing related to filing. So what you have here is you have 2 see, that's the wrong place to do that. All right, you have 2 sections. You have section 1, right? So we say it's 1A, and then we have 1B over here, right? Which has these longer pieces. And it's actually going to be this entire thing right here. And the idea here is that you actually want to think about this as in terms of a actual circle, or at least in this case, a half circle. And all these pieces then, we can take about, say, 1, 2, 3 of these segments, right? And we can use 3 of these segments and actually make that into little kits. And then if we actually like label each one of these, so like this is like maybe 1A, A, or whatever the heck, however we mark it, we just have to think about having these 3 segments. We can build any part of that circle or half circle that we want, if that makes any sense. And then the second part is we have the bottom one here so that we know 1B is. We can then attach the same idea. If we want to make some piece longer or we want to make some piece like shorter, we can actually just use these 2 kits, right, to actually make longer or shorter pieces of the ship. And then finally, you had another question related to, well, I had a question. I had a question related to what to do with the poles. And so where is it? Oh, there it is, blue. Haha. We can actually like take this part right here, these lines right here, and this would actually be like another kit related just to poles. Why? Or these wires? Because we can put them in anything. In fact, by having this right here, we make another kit with the walls and stuff. We maybe make them clean. We can run these through any piece of geometry, making that more visually interesting. So this actually right here, this blue stuff right here is, hey, where's my format? Is actually, blink, probably another kit. I gotta get over here. So this is, I guess it's just gonna be a highlighter. I don't know why it's like this now. All right, so we'll just call this like 3A or whatever it is. Right. So we actually have 2 parts here, right here, of one kit. This would be the one kit, right? And then we have another kit here that we're just labeling 3A. And then we can mark all these things as 3A, like 2, 3A, 4, and just place them inside. Now, of course, we could use this method to create procedural generation, but we are handcrafting the levels. So let me ask you a question, Indy. Why do we need kit bash?
So we can make levels faster and more efficient.
That is the idea, and that we can, basically anyone working on the team can use them, right? Like our programmer can take these things and actually, get them into the game engine.
Right.
We are using Godot primarily for this. I do apologize. We're not making the video yet how to show you how to put this stuff into Godot. In fact, we're still trying to figure that out. But if you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Put those questions, comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm getting closer to 1,000. If I get to 1,000, I'll have much better tools and I can share other things. And no, I have not forgotten you wonderful subs. I'm going to try to figure out a 2D project for those people that still want to do 2D and 2D shading stuff that I've been getting questions for. Thank you so much for sending me messages and putting comments related to that. And also, I've already talked to Jebediah. We'll be looking back at the Rakugo project. I haven't forgotten you guys. Thank you so much for making this happen. You know what to do. Insert catchy phrase here. And Indy, do you want to say anything?
Just send them over to my channel and check out some of the art that I've done.
Okay, I'll put your channel link below. If there's nothing else, insert catchy phrase here, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.